Do you have congested pores? Do you have blackheads? Do you have these large pores throughout the face? Well, today we're going to talk about how we can refine, reduce. You cannot eliminate them because it's part of the structure of the skin. But I'm going to give you step by step, 10 steps. So you have to stay with me. And if you follow every single step, your skin will become clear and refined. So let's get started right now. Very quickly, my name is Maria from Vancouver and my company is Aglaia Esthetics Online. I would like first of all and most of all to thank my followers, my subscribers, and for asking me questions, for giving me thumbs up, for being such a support system is phenomenal. For the individuals that do not know me, well, hopefully you will enjoy my tutorials and you will decide, she seems like she knows her stuff, let me subscribe to her. So it makes a world to me when individuals subscribe. The individuals that have followed me for a while, they know that I'm really into natural products, nutrition, and how to take care of your skin, to make antioxidants versus just taking antioxidants. Now, I do believe that you do need to eat properly, but you also can help your body with the stimulation of the NRF2 activation. So there is a link below for you to look at it. And you might say, what's NRF2? It is a new technology that you will help your body to biohack, nutrigenomics. It is amazing. So let's look at here. There is a lot to know about how am I going to take care of my skin. Now, if you have just like a pimple, there's a reason why you got that pimple. Is it stress? Is it poor eating habits? Is it hormonal? So we're going to look at this a little bit more in detail. But the main focus today, it's about these pores. And a lot of individuals have asked me, Maria, what am I going to do with these pores? What can I do? I want them away. It is impossible. Okay, so I have a little drawing here. Now, here we go. And you see here, like we have two different things here. One is, this is the hair follicle, and that's where usually the blackhead is formed. And then you have the sweat gland, and there's like the little pore. Now, in blue, I called this opening ostia because the pore is where the sweat comes out. The oil that comes out of the sebum or the sebaceous gland comes out of the ostia. So there's two terminologies. Now, everybody calls them pores, but it's ostia. The pore itself is where the sweat comes out and it is actually invisible. What you see is the ostia. So we are going to talk about how to regulate, how to take care of the ostia. So to remove the ostia, it's impossible. That means that we will have to take away this. So we cannot. Let's use the correct terminology, ostia. I would like to show now one ostia that is congested. So you can see here like every single opening is congested with a blackhead. And these ones here are really enlarged. And so when you see something like this, you know that this person has very oily skin. Now, you can really see it here. So the people that are more prone to this are particularly those of African and Indian ancestry, but you can also see this of course, on Caucasians and Asian descent. So you don't really have to have only oily skin, acne skin, fungal skin, or whatever. Even with maturing, aging skin, you will get larger pores. And that is mainly not only because of time, but also because the skin has been going through stress, smog, and most of all UVR or radiation from the sun, causing damage of the collagen fibers. So here, this is very similar of the drawing that I had. So the UVR that comes from the sun penetrates the skin. And of course I have all the same color, but you can also see the little fibers here, the collagen fibers. As the rays come inside the skin, it will start to damage or weaken the collagen fibers. And it's the collagen fibers that holds everything together and also holds the follicle into its place. But as the fiber starts to be destroyed, also the follicle will start to enlarge and kind of drop down. So we need to take care of our skin by using SPF. Now, I particularly don't like the SPF, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. The chemical ones, I prefer the natural SPF. So let's talk about that a little bit more in detail. This little guy here, called the sebaceous gland, produces a substance called sebum. And the sebum is released and it comes out. This is oxidized. This is what happened is it's been oxidized by the oxygen. And so that's why you see this little blackhead. If that is not oxidized, and then the oils will come out, and it is like a natural lubricant, and it's actually really good. However, because this sebum has some deficiency of a linoleic acid, and we're going to talk a little bit about more afterwards. I feel like so much information, but I have to tell you all this information. Because this has a deficiency of linoleic acid, the sebum is thicker and stickier and causing blackheads. So let's start with these 10 tips. And so the first one is about washing your skin with mild cleansers. Let's look at this for a second again. I've added another thing here. So you see this yellow stuff here? Well, that is the sebum, the oil, which produces the acid mantle. And if this oil is healthy, it comes out, it gives a nice little film, and there's no problem. But what happens when we have done something, your diet, stress, or whatever, we're going to talk about a little bit more as we go along, we start to wash and use alcohol-based products. And I'm not going to mention the bad ones, I'm just going to talk about good stuff. But anyway, so you're washing and washing and washing, and guess what's happening is that this little gland here is realizing that the skin is dry because you washed it so much, so it keeps on producing extra sebum. So the more you wash, the greasier it gets. Same thing with your scalp. If you have oily hair, the more you wash, the greasier you're going to be. I used to have a girlfriend that used to wash in the morning and at night her scalp. Twice a day she used to wash her hair, and her hair was always incredibly greasy until she decided not to wash as much, and slowly the sebaceous gland started to reduce the amount of sebum. So the first thing that I would like to do here is we're wanting to look after not only these little blackheads, but also the effects of what's happening with the sebaceous gland. The first thing you need to do is to wash your skin with very mild cleansers. And I have two different cleansers. Let me see here. One is an NRF2 activator. And I will have a link below, and it is the True Science. It is very mild. It is an amazing cleanser, but it is not in every single country, and so you will have to look at it. So if it's not in your country, then another one that I find is really quite good, it's a little bit foamy, but it's actually really good, is this one here. And it's a refresher botanical. This is really good. You use very, very little, and it's very balancing. It does not dehydrate the skin. If you have a product that after you wash your face, it feels tight, you have removed too much of the sebum, and then guess what? The sebaceous gland will produce more, so you will get greasy, greasy, greasy. Now, I also encourage to use a little brush. Now, there's two of them, and there's one that I know a lot of individuals are selling it like crazy, but I find it a little bit too expensive. And this is the one here, and I'm sure you will see it from different sites. This one here costs about $175, $180 on Amazon. I don't find this very particular needed to spend that kind of money. So there is one that I find is very good. It's about $30 to $40, also on Amazon, and I'll have these links below. And it has 3 different brushes. One is very, very light, so it's from sensitive skin up to thick, oily skin. I will have a link below. And so what you do with this, you apply your cleanser, whatever you decide to use, and you will try gently to remove this. If you do not take care of your little oxidized blackhead, it will become larger. And what's going to happen, it will stretch the ostia, not the pore, the ostia, to the point that it gets like this. Well, I hope that you're still with me, because I still have a few pointers here to give you. Oh, by the way, if you want my notes, there's a link below, my email, whatever, to ask me. Actually, it's my website, to ask me, hey Maria, I would like to have these notes. And you know what? I will be more than happy to give you them all. But stay with me. So the tip number 2 is not to use rich synthetic products. It's almost like garbage in, garbage out. Putting your skin, suffocating products onto your skin is not good. So try to buy little but good than lots and cheap. You get what you pay for it, basically. So I remember that I said the oils really are not your enemy, but it has to be good oils and clean products. So the first thing I want to mention is to use a product that is high in linoleic acid. Because remember I said before that when the sebum does not have linoleic acid, it is sticky and oily and causes blackheads. So one of the best ones is primrose, hemp seed oil, and the grapeseed oil. Those are the 3 my favorite. There's some more, but those are my favorite one. And one of my favorite product here is this one here. Primrose basically is very high in vitamin C, first of all, and linoleic acid. And yes, it is a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but instead of using tons of drops, just use a little drop and apply onto your nose, and that's it. First of all, and yeah, you might say, oil on my oily skin? Yes. So just get a little drop and massage it onto the area that you have your comedones and also your large pores. I totally advise that. And you want to do it maybe just before you go to bed. During the day, you do want to have a good moisturizer, and I have 2 of them. My favorite one is the NRF2, and it's the True Science facial cream. You cannot find it in all the different countries. You can't. But the other one that I like, again from the same company of the cleanser, the Refresh Botanical, and I will have a link below. It is a little bit more expensive than the other one, but it's very good onto your skin. Both of them, this one and this is the one I use. You don't need a lot, but it's better to have a little bit of good than lots of cheap. No matter how tired you are, you went out to a party or you had long hours, you need to remove your makeup. And if you don't have makeup, let's say if you're a boy that doesn't wear makeup, you still need to wash your face, because outside we have pollution and smog, and the smog does dehydrate the skin. So we do need to wash our face, because the makeup and the smog makes the skin asphyxiated. And asphyxiated mainly means that the skin cannot breathe. So take a moment and wash your face and apply your linoleic acid and your night cream if you want, whatever, but do that for yourself. Otherwise, you'll get this. How? It's because the skin is trying to breathe. The pores are going to get larger and larger and larger, and that's what you don't want. Step number 4 is what kind of treatments can you do? And one of the first one that I would say is BHAs and AHAs, and I like them both together. The BHAs is more for the oiliness, so you kind of clean the follicle. So let me get my picture. Okay, so that's for the BHAs, okay? So the BHA will clean, just like the salicylic acid, okay, will clean this. And the AHAs will help with the exfoliation on the outside. So if you have any dirt, the AHAs. One of my favorite products is this one here. It has the BHAs and AHAs. It's a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but you just need a little drop. Right? So I will have a link below. And so the BHA again will clean the follicle in the oily side, and the AHAs will exfoliate. And by exfoliation, it will help the production of the cells. The cells will divide and renew. Another thing that is very important is to steam. And regular steaming, and I have a tutorial here, the benefits of steaming. Why? Because steaming, what it does, it stimulates the metabolism of the cells and the rejuvenation of cells. So the cells will go through mitosis, cell division. So that is also really good. So another thing that you can do is micro needling. I have a little tutorial here, but you need to do it properly and the right size of needles. You might get scared, but once you see this little tutorial, you'll say, oh, I can do that. So microneedling is really good to stimulate the skin. It helps with the cell division, and will reduce the large pores. I would do that. Another thing you can do is microdermabrasion, but you need to go to an esthetician to do that. Happy you're still here with me. So tip number 5, delete. Okay, reduce the amount of dairy, because the dairy will stimulates the insulin and the growth hormone, and it will stimulate more of your oils, your sebum. So, and you can use alternatives. There is a coconut, there's almond, there's rice, there's so many different kinds of milk that you do not need dairy. However, if you want to intake yogurt, it's good. Kefir is really good, especially for your gut. Okay, so those are okay. And I do like cheese, so a little bit of cheese will not hurt you. Okay, the next tip is delete all the sugars, the refined sugars, especially if you have a problem with, so that is tip number 6. If you have problems with oils and acne and fungal condition, and I'm sure you're going to see it, my other tutorial, you do want to remove as much as possible of those refined sugars, because they will lift your insulin, your metabolism. It goes everything kind of wacky. Also, deep fried foods, fast foods are a no-no. Tip number 7, no smoking, because smoking will destroy all the vitamin C in your body. And the vitamin C is the catalyst of keeping your collagen nice and firm like this. And guess what? You remember the picture before? The collagen, it's already destroyed by the UVR. So if you add on top of destroying your vitamin C because you decide to smoke, you will get larger pores. So we're going to slowly reduce eliminate smoking. We are almost done. I know my tutorials are always so long, but I have to put so much stuff in here because when we're talking about the large pores, it is not about thinking about I'm going to shrink the pores to nothing, because that is impossible. So there's so many things, because the pores are part of your skin. Your skin is part of your body, and your body is part of the whole situation. So that's why so much stuff. So the next thing that I like to do, which is tip number 8, is zinc oxide. And zinc oxide is it does not only help you with it's a mechanical SPF for the sun, but it's also an anti-inflammatory. So I don't want to do that too often because it is kind of drying, and you can put it right onto your nose, onto the area that you have your comedones, because it draws out. However, if you put it together, if you combine it with the linoleic acid, it becomes like a catalyst, and it is absorbed better into the skin. So zinc oxide, it becomes a lot more effective. So a little bit of the zinc oxide, a little bit of linoleic acid, and put it into the area. Because the zinc oxide is incredible for the antibacterial, antifungal. It's amazing. However, another thing that I really like for the protection of the sun, because I don't like chemicals. So the SPF, I really don't like it. So if you can find, and I do have a link below, of a good mineral makeup, and you apply it throughout. Mineral makeup has zinc oxide naturally, it's natural, and it will protect your skin from the UVR. If you're going swimming or whatever, if you need to put SPF, do not have it higher than SPF 15. You don't need it higher than that. Why? Because the higher the SPF, the more chemicals and more the tendency that can cause skin cancer. So I did mention the foods that you should not eat. Now I'm going to mention the food that you should eat. If you ask me for the diet for the fungal condition, please let me know, because this is very, very similar. So the food that you should eat is a lot of avocados, because it's high in oils, the omegas, cucumber, walnuts, almonds, oranges. I'm going to read here, so I'm sure that I'm going to tell you all of them. Grapefruit, dark chocolate, lemon, and lemon is also good for the outside, banana, lentils, coconut water, hemp, and pumpkin seed. Those are very good. Every green vegetable, every red vegetable, purple vegetable, eat it. Green tea, an antioxidant, eggs, fish, poultry. And if you decide to want to eat red meat, you can, but try to have grass-fed or whatever, something that is not full of hormones, because you don't want that. Poultry also is very good. Some of the supplements, and this is tip number 10. I'm not very much into supplements, okay, but the most important one is vitamin B5, especially if you have a lot of those pimples and acneic things coming out. Vitamin D3, essential. All the omegas, probiotics, and I have a link below for your probiotics. It's essential for your gut. Zinc, not only on the outside, also internally. Vitamin A, nutrigenomics, the NRF2. The next thing I want to mention that you have to have is the probiotic, not only as a pill format, but also in a food format, just like a natural yogurts and kefir. Have fermented foods, very good for your gut, such as kombucha, sauerkraut, kimchi. All those things are very essential for your gut. Internally, you will see good results on your skin. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you give me thumbs up and you decide, hey Maria, I'm going to follow you. Please do that. And I look forward to my next subject and in my next tutorial. So see you soon.